What's poppin'? What's poppin'? How y'all doing? What's poppin'? Hi, everybody. Y'all know what we do. Welcome to the Gray Area Podcast, where we talk about situations and things that are rarely even talked about. And tonight's topic is I need help. Now, a lot of people be like asking if I'm suicidal or something. No, I ain't. I'm not suicidal. Stay focused, man. Y'all need to stay focused. Y'all know this is a quarantine Friday. We back again. Y'all know how we gonna do this thing. This is a topic where I've been needing to discuss it for a while now, and I think this topic fits the majority of us very, 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 very well. Because the majority of us, we don't like to ask for help. And oftentimes we find ourselves in situations where we're dealing with things ourselves. Like we go through so much things and we feel like, like we can't depend on anybody for whatever reason. We choose to do things ourselves. We choose to basically, you know, we choose to basically go at things ourselves without, crying out for help or without even asking for help. And if we are being real, it shouldn't really be like that. It shouldn't be like that because a lot of us, a lot of us have good reasons why we don't ask for help. We have personal reasons whereas we don't ask for help, or we feel like, we're gonna get into that. We have a lot of people that don't care to ask for help because they feel as though people don't wanna basically help them generally, or somebody's gonna talk about them, or they're basically gonna make them feel some type of way. Y'all know how us in the culture that we in, normally when we make quote unquote mistakes, people, rather than uplift us, they will throw things in our face like I told you so, and be like, you're an idiot for this and that. Or they don't seem to have a sense of understanding. So tonight's topic, I need help. So y'all that are tuning in, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, y'all share that feed, invite a friend, tell a friend, and let's talk about it. Because this is something that is actually destroying our society, destroying our homes, destroying our families, destroying our friendship. It's basically destroying a lot of things that we value and a lot of things that we hold dear, because it's kind of cliche to say we should be our brother's keeper, because we ain't. But it should be, you know, it should be it should be some sort of help, or some sort of motivation for people to want to ask, for help, because we have a lot of people that go through situations and things that they don't even try to talk about it. Nikki say, let's get it. Share. Y'all, if y'all here, share. Invite a friend, tell a friend. And as y'all know, if you ain't familiar with the podcast, this is a very transparent podcast where it's not based on my views and opinions alone. It's actually your views and your opinions also. So we can have a dialogue. I need help, Jay. I need help, please. That's what's happening. Best friend, you think I didn't see how you blue tick me? Eh? Don't think I ignored the fact that you blue tick me. We don't ask with good reason. Oh, Nikki already started. Okay, now we done with the introductions, and everybody, like, y'all familiar. Y'all should be familiar with the podcast already. I need help. That's something where we as individuals in the society, especially the Bahamas, especially Nassau, we tend to not want to ask for help for whatever reasons. We are superheroes, so we go through the emotions. Like the Bahamians say, we go through the motions. And we go through these things ourselves, and we fail to want to ask for help. And sometimes it gets so bad to where we are at a breaking point, to where we are suicidal, where we are I should say, depression kicks in, anxiety. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of things that we deal with personally, and we go through these things ourselves, and we don't even think about the consequences to our health, to our mental health, to our emotions, or think about the consequences, even folks around us, like how it affect us, how it affect them, how it affects our environment. Like, and then the majority of people, they don't ask for help. Well, because I'm in that boat too, we don't ask for help because we don't want anybody to feel sorry for us. We don't want to feel like we burdening down anybody. Like, wait, let me get to the comments. Don't want to feel like a burden to people, see? And with that being said, I feel like for us that are so prideful, if I can use that word loosely, prideful, we have to find a common ground to where we as individuals aren't afraid to ask for help. And when I say afraid, I'm not talking about in a way whereas we are scared, not in necessarily scared, but more in a sense whereas we what should I say? I guess it's the fear of the unknown, like the response that we're gonna get, or how people are gonna perceive us in our struggle that we need help with, like whether it's addiction, whether it's sexual addiction, whether it's drug addiction, whether it's substance addiction, whether it's alcohol addiction, whether it's depression, whether it's you going through something financially, whether it's you made a dumb decision, relationship wise, job wise, you know what I mean? It's a lot of stuff that contribute to these things. And I feel as though we are so prideful. Stephen, you hit the nail on the head. We got too much pride. We are so prideful to the point whereas we are afraid to ask for help, including me. I am the worst person. I'll be dying, suffocating. I would lack, and I would, sometimes I just basically need someone to talk to. And sometimes it gets so overbearing to whereas me personally, like, I'm like, it gets to the point where, it's so overbearing. Like, you had it, it's like you're drowning. That's the best example I got. It's like you're drowning to the point to whereas, you can't breathe in situations in life. And then you just are so afraid to say, I need help. And then it's not like there aren't people that want to genuinely help you, like some of us, we have a good strong body of people that basically support us, have our backs, basically have our best interests at heart. But we find it hard and we find it difficult to say we need help. So, for those of you that are just tuning in, welcome to the Gray Area Podcast, where we talk about situations and things that are rarely even talked about. And tonight's topic is simply, I need help. And I've spoken to a lot of people, because I like to talk about basically these topics with people, that have basically a first response from people, like just having a dialogue. And I asked somebody, I was like, why is it that we don't like to ask for help? And a friend of mine said, because people don't really care about you. And I was like, but we have some people who care about us. And she said, no, it's just that they can show that they care, but their actions speak otherwise. And I was like, give me an example. She said, okay, let's say I don't have a ride, right? She was like, I don't have a ride. And my friends know I don't have a ride. And they saying, oh, I can't wait till you get your car or whatever. And they would never say, hey, you need a ride. I was like, yeah, but sometimes, people just don't like to drive because I don't like to drive. And then she said, well, okay, you can use, let's say you struggling and, you don't have no gas, and they know you don't have no gas or whatever. They wouldn't say, hey, would you like something to eat? Rather than, why should you wait for me to ask you when you see the things that I lack? as a friend or as a person that say they care on me, quote. And I was like, yeah, well, maybe that's a good example. And I kind of understood like where she's coming from. Like people tend to often portray that they care, but in reality, they don't. Like we have some individuals that say, I care about you, or I love you, or basically, I have your best interests at heart. And then you have their actions telling you otherwise. So if I'm struggling and I need help in a situation, why would I reach out to somebody to say, hey, I need help, when your actions is telling me like you don't give a about me? So that's where the majority of people that I spoke to, that's where they basically borderline or they stood. So nowadays you can't trust people. Some people, you can't trust some people. That's why some don't ask for help. Not everyone helps from a good heart. And that's facts. And I think that goes back to the conversation, whereas people can say they care about you with verbally, but really and truly their actions, everything that they do doesn't show or exemplify someone that cares. So it's kind of hard to tell people, hey, I need help, I'm struggling, when, this person, they basically don't give a hell about you. Like they don't care about anything. It's like they say that they care. And I agree with you 100%, Biscuit, because you can't trust people so much with your emotions, because some people can use your emotions or your struggle against you. At least for me, that's why I'm not one of those people that open up and say, hey, I'm struggling and I'm going through this. Like I'll be going through some life-changing situations and people would know that I'm going through it. Is like when they pull up and they be like, what? So when did this happen to you? Why you didn't tell me this and that or whatever? And it ain't like, you know, I just don't feel the need to tell people, hey, this and that is going on, because a lot of people, they just, you know, they just, I don't know, they just can't really help. You know what I mean? Even talking to certain people, like you talking to somebody, sometimes you just lead a listening ear and they'll turn around and say the dumbest thing where you shouldn't have, blah, 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 and they'll make you feel so downgraded and make you feel so stupid because, hey, you made a bad decision, instead of saying, hey, life happens, we win some, we lose some, that kind of way. They'll be like, well, now, you got to be better. You got to be smarter. You can't be, it's just, I don't know. Some people only help for likes and shares. I got to drink my water on that. And that's straight facts. Like if you know me personally, I have a strong detest, a strong dislike for people that help you and highlight that they help you. What do I mean by highlight? Like, talk about it, boast about it, brag about it, tag you in it and say, hey, look, I stopped by Jason today on social media and I decided I wanted to give him $5, Like, why did the world have to do that? If you genuinely helping a person, why is it so necessary to say, hey, well, I helped so and so. Why can't it be in secret? Why can't you help me without talking about it? You know what I mean? It's just, and that's why a lot of people don't ask for help. Like people brag and boast so much, like they help you, like, hey, you just lost your job, and then somebody, oh, I had just had to bless Jason with $100 because he don't have no job. Like, come on, like the whole world didn't have to know, like, you blessed Jason with $100. And I feel that's why a lot of people are taken back to asking for help. Because can you imagine you ask somebody for help? Like, let's say you didn't have anything to eat, and then you ask somebody, hey, can I borrow $20 because I really need to get something? And they turn around and say, hey, oh, I just get at Jason $20. Jason doing bad, dog. He don't have no food in his fridge. He don't have nothing. I just had to give him $20. Can you imagine? And then your boy come by you and say, why you didn't let me know you doing bad, dog? Now you broke, dog. You know what I mean? That make you feel, it puts you in a place where, you know what I mean? Where you feel humiliated. That's the right word for me. Humiliated. And I feel that's one of the reason many people don't ask for help. We don't want to feel humiliated. We don't want to feel we just don't want to feel, so low. Like some people, boy, listen, some people when they help you or when you ask for help, they'll make you feel like, oh, I know you had to come to me. Like that's something that I personally don't like. And for me, that's why I don't ask for help. Okay, let me read one of these messages. Jason, please keep me anonymous. I'm glad to have you back. Next time, please don't go missing for so long. Boy, if y'all only know, things be happening. Okay, here's the thing. Me personally, I do not ask for help. I had this instance where I needed some Pampers for my baby. I can remember this like it was yesterday. It wasn't the fact that I didn't have the money. It was just the fact that I didn't have a chance to go and get the money. And I asked somebody to borrow money to get Pampers for my child. Jason, lo and behold, when Rowdy come, they threw that in my face, say, oh, I think I'm better than people. Never forget where you came from because you had to ask me for Pampers money. Boy, y'all cold. So for me personally, I'd rather suffer in silence, like you always say. Suffering in silence helps save you from, I don't understand that word, helps save you from, I guess she's trying to say save you from humiliation. Help save you from humiliation. Let's go from that. So for me personally, I will not ask for help. Please don't go missing again. You see? Like we see, that's the thing, we are prideful beings, and then for you to throw something in our face, like when we were at our lowest, or basically when we couldn't do it for ourselves, and all of a sudden Rowdy come and you saying, oh, don't forget I did this for you. Like, woo, that right there. I feel that's why a lot of us don't ask for help, really and truly. Yeah, it's the pride, and yes, all of that, you know what I mean? But come on. True, and Bahamians proud. 100, Miss Loie Jojo Johnson. 100. I hate that. If you help me and gotta take a picture or video, then buddy, keep it facts. That's social media fame right there. Agree with Anonymous. I rather suffer in silence. Y'all don't, I need to trademark that. That's my catchphrase. I always say that. Suffer in silence. I mean, it's crazy that I'm encouraging you to suffer in silence, but I want us to kind of, stray away from that thought, because sometimes suffering in silence don't always be the right thing. Now, hear me out now. Hear me out. I know I'm going to sound hypocritical, right? Because y'all know I don't ask for help. I'll be drowning and I'd rather drown. But hear me out. It might be a little hypocritical coming from me, but just hear me out now. I think we need to stray away from the suffering and silence mentality, because hear me out now. Sometimes the situations that we are facing is bigger than us. What do you mean by bigger than us? Sometimes the situation needs like another hand, like another person on board. You see, like how Bob the Builder, can we fix it? It took a lot of them to fix situations and things that were happening. So it's kind of that same effect. Sometimes the situations that we are in, or the situations that we are faced, is or are actually bigger than us. So it will be okay for us to say, hey, I need help, rather than suffering in silence. And then, you basically end up in a position or a place where it's bad. Like, it's really bad. Because a lot of people go through situations that they deal with and they suffer in silence for so many years. They hold in so many things for so many years, and reach the point where as they are at a breaking point, or we are at a breaking point. I don't know if I was ever at a breaking point, but I mean, I'm just saying, at a breaking point, whereas you can be so mentally strained and mentally ill to whereas you just say, look, I had enough of this, and you want to take your life. You know what I mean? Like suicide is so real. Depression is real. Anxiety is real. All of these things that we go through are real. Like we have to find people that we trust or that we are confident in their abilities to help or assist us. You know, sometimes the situations are bigger than us. And some of these situations that we are in, there are a lot of people that we know or that we are close to. They went through similar situations, so they can really, really, really like help us. Like the situation is bigger than us. So I feel in that sense, we can, break away from the suffering and silence thing. Like I said, I know it might sound hypocritical coming from me because y'all know that's my motto: suffer in silence. That's my logo. I always say that to all of my friends. They know that, suffer in silence. But I feel like we need to stray away from that mentality because, like I said, sometimes the situation is way bigger than us. When I say way, I mean way bigger than us. Like it can be so. I don't know if y'all ever been through situations, I mean, like all your life. It's so crazy. Like you just hold that situation in and you never told anybody and you just carrying that on and you have a weight. It's like the weight on your shoulder, the weight on your chest, the weight on your brain, the weight on everything. I mean, like you just heavy. You heavy. And then the minute you talk to somebody, it's like, whew, it's like you feel like a load just lifted off your shoulder. And that's what I mean by sometimes the situation is bigger than us. Because sometimes certain individuals that genuinely, keyword, genuinely care about us, they actually, want to be there for us and they actually want to, help us through the situation that we are going through. So for me, that's why I say, we have to break away from that suffering and silent thing because it can be deadly. It can be very, very, very deadly. Like I had a friend, like she used to go through a lot. I used to text her all the time, Sometimes she used to text late and I used to, stay up texting. This was years ago. Stay up texting, seeing how she doing. And then one day she sent me a picture where she was in a hospital and her hand was wrapped up. I was like, what happened? I was like, we didn't talk in one day. And she was like, oh, she thought I gave up on talking to her and she just wanted to end her life, she said. And this time she actually went so deep. I was like, man, why would you, I was like, why would you do that? And she said, because I felt like I was alone. I'll never forget her, boy. And, when she took off the thing, she showed me like that sucker was deep and they found her unconscious. So good thing they caught her right in time before she bleed out. Like, is that serious? Like some people, when they say they need help, like I'm not trying to say, like make people your God or anything, but I'm just saying like some people actually help us get through things better than we try to do it ourselves and try to tackle it ourselves. You know what I mean? Like we have to come to a point where it's okay to say she need help. And I was happy that, she actually, trusted me. Because y'all know I'm like the worst person in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. I'm I cold-hearted, I nonchalant, and I like to cut people off fast. But some people they look past that and they be like, I really feel comfortable talking to you. And I was happy that, that she actually was telling me, like she feels so alone, like nobody cares and stuff like that. And I was like, well, I care. And she's like, well, you're the only one who cares. Say, what happens if you stop talking to me? And listen, that was intense, y'all. I don't know if y'all ever seen like somebody actually like slice into their wrist. I'm not talking about the surface stuff. I mean like the deep stuff. Like that's not a sight that you can forget. You know what I mean? And I was just like, like wow. Like when you see people reach to that point to where they say they need help, trust me, they need it because it takes a lot from an individual to say, I need help. The courage, the mindset, it just takes a lot. Like we some prideful human beings. It takes a lot from us to say that we need help. Okay, now let me get. See, I'm trying to balance this thing because my people, them, they always saying, "Oh, I don't never read their stuff." Okay, let's go. Okay, here we go. Well, look who's back. Me. Look who's back. Hear me out. I understand what you're saying when it comes to asking for help, but you just don't know who to talk to these days. People are like wolves in sheep clothing. People can pretend so good and they can pretend so good for so long. Can you imagine telling somebody you need help or asking for help and then poof, they just change on you? I've experienced this so many times. And as you say, and the anonymous person said, that's where I am. It's hard. It's hard to trust people. It's hard to trust people, especially when you don't know their motives. I've had people that told me they love me. I've had people that told me they care. And their actions spoke another language, if you understand what I'm saying. That's why now, that's why nowadays you can't go around asking for help because people will use you at your vulnerable state. That's where I am. Keep it up. And please keep this gray area podcast going. Boy, she said a mouthful. She said a mouthful. Like, and listen, if y'all know me, I'm a big person on action. Like words, I ain't really a fan of words too much. Like your actions, like you telling me one thing and your actions, I'm going by your actions. I don't care how much speech you give and how much long talk you give. There's nothing that can convince me otherwise than your action. And she's right. Like we have people that say stuff to us and they turn around and just stab us right in our necks. Clarence said, that's why I play music, bro. Right? Like people find ways to get away. Some people play music, some people write music, some people sing, some people dance. People find a way, to cope with their struggles or these things that they need help with. Miss Johnson said, I was raised that way. Neighbors would come and ask for cream, sugar, etc. We weren't allowed to go ask for anything. My Grammy taught us if you don't have, do without. Facts. Oh, that's what I know. To this day, I don't know how to ask for help. Miss Loie Jojo Johnson, I felt that. That right there, I just felt that. That right there. I know what it is. It's just hard, especially if you've been doing that all your life. Like some of us been here 20 plus years and we've been not asking for help all our lives. And for somebody to say, like how I'm coming here saying you got to ask for help sometimes, people will find that like that's a different language. Miss Alexa says she sleep. Like a lot of people cope with things different. Sleep, play music. I just don't ask. And it's crazy, like how we are raised and taught these things. We are taught to be so independent or to survive without things, to the point that this actually affects us in so much ways that we don't even know. Like you can imagine, like you struggling, you going through some stuff, you going through relationship issues and you don't want to ask for help because you're afraid that, hey, this person is going to think this. You're going through financial crisis. You don't know how to save and you're afraid to say, people are going to say this. Man, I need help. I can relate to that. Miss Loie Jojo Johnson, you said a mouthful because that's me. Like I've been raised to be a lion. I can't even say lions because I watch this thing where when lions hunt in packs, where the women go out hunting and they hunt, like in a clique, like so they help each other. So I don't know what I am. And even wolves, like when wolves use in the bathroom, other wolves stand guard, like even animals know to ask for help. And we as human beings, like we so, I don't know, we so afraid to ask for help. It's crazy though. It's crazy that we are so afraid to ask for help. Especially me. Oh man, I'll die first. Lord forbid. But my gosh, asking for help ain't my cup of tea. Miss Alexa said, but rare moments require one to swallow their pride. Ask and it shall be given. Boy, Miss Alexis, that's easier said than done. I know I'm encouraging now. Like I said, it might sound hypocritical coming from me. But some of these rare moments, sometimes we just drown. I don't know, but I've been drowning. In the past couple of times, I've been drowning. And listen, those were some rare moments. One may never know what doors may open. Facts. To summarize that, we basically stop our own blessings for not asking for help. That's what I'm going with. That's what Miss Alexis is saying in a nutshell. We block our own blessings for not asking for help. Like if you ain't got nothing to cook at home, don't be afraid to ask for a little spoon of rice or something, man. If you ain't got no sugar, don't be afraid to, But boy, that is a little risky when you're asking people for help. Because, boy, you don't know the response you might get. It's a gamble, boy. That's my point. It's a gamble when you're asking for help because you don't know. Well, for me, it's the fact that not knowing their intent behind giving the help. Because you could ask for help, but the intent behind giving the help, because how I feel that nobody does anything for you for free. And that's how I feel. I'm not talking about me personally because I do things for free all the time. But I just feel like people don't know how to do things for you for free. I feel like you're indebted to somebody when they do something for you. At least that's how I feel. Like you did this for me, then I have to pay you back. Even though some of my friends, they like to cuss me out for that. They like to cuss me. My friends, they love to cuss. So we have to get to a point where, like I said, we ask for help. Instead of neglecting ourselves, treating ourselves like slaves, going through all of these battles alone. I need help. Y'all don't know how to ask for help. So, like I said, we have to learn how to ask for help. Y'all don't know how to ask for help. I gotta say y'all. See, I gotta speak that into existence because I like to say we. I think I could be able to ask for help now. Maybe one day. Oh, let me get to these messages because y'all like to say. Okay. I agree with that last comment. It's a gamble. You don't know what you're getting when you asking for help. It's really a gamble. I remember I dated this guy and we were on bad terms. We had some sort of disagreement. And I really needed help bad. So I messaged him and I asked him, hey, can you do so and so for me? And he turned around and said, hey, can you give me? And I was like, at a time like this, I really need you. And that's what you're going to do to me. And his response to me was, You think I'm a effing a-hole? We ain't talk in a while, and you think you could come, you think you can come in, I don't understand. Basically, I guess my chat. You think you could come in my chat asking for help, asking for help, and you ain't give me PU and what? And so longer, and so I guess so long of a time. So I say that to say you have to be careful who you ask for help or who you think is genuine. My gosh. In other words, she's saying, homie, saying, look here, you ain't talked to me in so long. Now you asking me for help. Okay, bring this little thing here, then I can help you. What a sec. I don't mean to laugh. But boy, man, cold. Us men, we some cold human beings. Not colder than women. Y'all women cold. Well, that's some cold stuff. Like y'all just have a disagreement and y'all ain't talking. You know, that happens in all relationships. And y'all haven't spoken in a while, and basically your significant other message you asking for help because she was in dire need. And your first response to her is to bring that poo-tang there. Then you can help. Man, it's either you was just there for the poo-tang, homie, and you didn't know how to say it because that sure was in love. It's somebody and you have a disagreement, right? And they reach out and ask you for help. And you turn around and then you gave them an ultimatum. Like, whoo. I don't know what that was, but boy, that's cold. Can you imagine you with your significant other and then y'all have a falling out and you reach out to them saying, hey, I need some help. You know what I mean? I need some help. This is a serious situation. And they say, okay, bring your punano here. After I get your punano, then I can help you. Like that's some, I mean, I cold, but I never did nothing cold like that. I guess cold is cold, but my gosh, like that. Like, I don't know. I don't understand. Like, if you and somebody have a disagreement, right? And y'all haven't spoken on one day, and y'all supposed to be in a relationship talking, and your significant other reach out for you and ask you for help because they need help. And your response to them is bring that punano hair. Then you can help them out. Bruh. That's on a whole nother level of cold. That's cold. That's anyway. Let me see. I trying to keep up because people like to say I only like to focus on the social media stuff. Oh boy, down and down and down, 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 down. It's about time, Jason. Listen, for me personally, I don't care. I don't have no shame. If I need help, I'll ask for help. I don't care what anybody think about me, and that's my mindset. If I need something, I need it. The topic says I need help, not want. Need is need. If I need something, Jason, I don't care what anybody think. I'm gonna ask for help. That's just me. That's how my mindset set. I'm not like you who will walk from Blue Hill Road home. Why is she bringing up my business? I need to skim through these messages before I read them out loud. Walk from Blue Hill Road home. If I need help, buddy, I need help. That's a mindset I wish I had. I don't have it. I don't have that mindset. I'll be honest. I don't know about that. This is one of the topics on the list, and I had to talk. But like I said, it might be a little hypocritical coming from me because everybody that knows me know I don't ask for help. And it's sad. It's sad that we don't ask for help. And I say it's sad because, like, there are some people that genuinely actually want to help us, and we don't even give them a chance. And then there are some people, they scumbags, they only pretend to help. So it's really like, let me find Tanya comment. Like Tanya says, it's a gamble. Because people could flip the script at any time. You don't know who to trust. You don't know who. I just don't know, because people can say they want to help you with their mouths and their actions speak a whole nother language. And for me, that's my issue. Like, you don't know what you're getting, or what you're getting rather. People can start off, doing the world for you, saying, "Oh, I'm gonna help you, this and that. Yes, I'll be here to help you whenever you need or whatever." And you ask them for help, and they say, "What I look like?" Yeah, ma. That's how it is. So we have to get to that point to whereas we can help individuals, basically. We can help individual basically feel comfortable with getting help. And like I said, we oftentimes neglect we neglect help at every turn. That's gonna tell you. They were waiting to shame you. You see, and that's my thing right there. That right there. Like, people will wait until you need help for the opportunity and of the chance to shame and embarrass you. Look at you. Look at you asking for this and asking for that. I just don't feel like giving anybody the opportunity or the chance to shame or embarrass me. I'm not. Listen, if y'all know me, listen, I'm this type of person. If I have to walk from Nassau Street to South Beach before I text somebody, that's what I'm going to do. If the rain catch me, I'll put my phone in my boxers or tie it around my thighs and and walk in the rain. Hopefully my phone don't get soaked before I say, you know what, let me call somebody. Because I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's something about asking for help that puts you in a vulnerable state. Like, you feel so dependent on other people. I don't know if I'm making sense, but I just don't like that feeling of being dependent on anybody. I like to be independent. Like, a lot of stuff, listen, I be going through a lot of stuff, And as sure as they, like Toya says, people be waiting to shame you. They couldn't wait until you get at your lowest so they could, embarrass you, make you feel stupid. And that's sad. Anyway, this is just our first show back. Y'all know with game night tonight, I'm not gonna be here. I'm not gonna be here all night. But yes, we are back. So we're gonna have to try and remind everybody that we are back. So we can work on. World is round though. Yes, it's a cycle. The world is a cycle. And karma, boy, listen, I got so much karma coming. When things happen, I'd be like, oh, that must be for the time that I did so and so this. Or that must be, you know what I mean? I mean, that's just personally me. Like, when stuff happen, I don't be like, oh, this happened. Oh, shucks. No, I'd be like, oh, shucks. You know what? This to get me back for that time. I expect karma. The type of person I am, I expect karma. Like certain things that I do. So, y'all, this is the Gray Area Podcast, where we talk about situations and things that are rarely even talked about for whatever reason. And this is our first night back. hopefully we're gonna continue forward with the schedule that we had in place prior. You know what I mean? But a lot of stuff going on, so I have to juggle a few stuff to make sure that I can do the stuff. And tonight's topic, people, was I need help. And like I said, it might sound hypocritical coming from me. I just want to let people know that it's okay to ask for help. You know what I mean? Instead of going through situations and things by ourselves, dealing with wives and dealing with vibes and dealing with situations, turmoil, pains, hurts, and all that trauma that we go through ourselves, it's okay to ask for help. We have to reach a point to where as we understand that ain't everybody is a scum. Like we have this perception of human beings, especially me, scum first, innocent last. At least that's me. Like we automatically label people as scums, and then when they prove themselves to us, we would say they're innocent. And we have to break out of that mentality because it's kind of, I should say, it stagnates our growth. And when I mean our growth, like with people, like we tend to be, we tend to hold back from people, and we tend to be like, we tend to blossom is the word that I'm looking for. We tend to blossom around individual because there are so many people or so many, it's like a domino effect, so many things that have dropped over the span of our lives that makes us think that every domino game is the same when it's not. So we have to understand that, man. We have to understand that, hey, ain't everybody the same? You know what I mean? Like everybody isn't gonna hurt you. Everybody isn't gonna lie. Everybody isn't gonna kill. Everybody isn't gonna make a mockery out of you. You know what I mean? So we have to be honest with ourselves to tell ourselves that, hey, everybody ain't the same. So people, I need help. I need help. That should be the words that we practice. We practice during this COVID. For everybody that is just coming in, man, it's NBA night. I wish I could stay with y'all longer, but y'all know the Lakers playing tonight. Shout out to the Lakers. We're gonna celebrate tonight, and shout out to all my Laker haters. I know some of y'all be watching. I see y'all. I feel y'all pulling tonight. Y'all need to celebrate the Miami Heats, and they need to ask for help. I need help. But yeah, folks, let's just break out of the mindset to whereas, we don't wanna ask for help and so forth, because we really need to reach a point to whereas we are comfortable with asking for help instead of suffering and doing things on our own. So y'all know tonight's topic was I need help. So see y'all tomorrow, and Lakers or nothing. I'll leave on that note. Lakers or nothing. Lakers, 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 Lakers. So y'all, thank y'all for tuning into the Gray Area Podcast, where we talk about situations and things that are rarely talked about for whatever reason. We are live Fridays and Saturday nights at 8. So see y'all tomorrow. Y'all watch that Laker game, please. Thank you. Oh, let me read this last comment. My good friend Gams, I was never afraid to say I need help, honestly, but I was very selective with who I asked it from. And I also will do that. do what I can. Unless I can, then I ask. I don't just ask because it's available to me. I like that selective thing there. You got to be selective in asking for help because some of these people, listen, some of these people, you just can't go around asking anybody for help. And I agree. You have to be selective. I like that word. You have to be selective with who you ask help for. We got to use that discerning spirit or have that discerning eyes to understand or to feel. But boy, some people can pretend so good. You can't even feel with sense. Now you could watch a game. Gams, I had to get that comment in. I had to get that comment in. Yeah. Y'all see that? Lakers, y'all, thank y'all for tuning into the Gray Area Podcast. So y'all like, share, subscribe. Let's help the channel to grow. It's a fairly new podcast, so it's going to take a long time to get it where the numbers where we were supposed to be by now. But basically, due to the on and off, you haven't been here on a consistent basis. So we are going to try to be here on a consistent basis. So thank y'all for tuning in. I'm out. Peace. Watch the game.